is all single. The old cliche, when you're not looking, that's when you meet somebody. Right? Especially since I quits out a week from Friday. They can't be looking right now. Watch by a week from Friday, they're all in relationships. We weren't looking, it just happened. This is, I guess, in that case, it would be more of a warning. But no, this is
down to be wrong.
That used to be a roller skating rink. No, maybe that was something. I think that was it. Now, I think this flying circus is right up here on the right. Yeah, flying circus air show right back there. My dad took me there like in 1981 or 82. I don't know if they still do it or not, but that was the day. And here is a right-hand drive Toyota Supra. So it's a Japanese, most likely it's imported Japan Toyota Supra. Pretty cool, huh? Don't see many of those, do you? As we work our way back in on the drive with the race truck. I need to change oil in this damn thing. I'd be amazed if this thing doesn't need an oil change. Let's see what it says. Info, right? Truck info. Tire, engine, information. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think the last time we changed this oil was down in Florida. Where is it? Yeah. Yep, down there, and probably a year ago. That'd be my guess. So yikes. Uh-oh, right? Uh-oh. Never forget, Joe and I getting pulled over. Joe got pulled over in his motorcycle right through here. He had a CB, I think 600, and he didn't get inspected. He's like, yeah, who cares? They're not going to bust you for that. Sure enough, we're coming up the road. I think I'm on my Harley. He's on his Honda CB 600. And a cop, state boy, comes rolling up next to him. And he sees that his sticker is dead on his fork. And he pulls in behind Joe, turns on the lights, and now we're pulled over right here. So I pulled up a little further up, and the cop then gets out of his car, and I'm there on my bike. And the cop walks up to me and goes, why are you here? I said, that's my friend. He's like, okay. He said, I just want to clarify who you are. I was like, no, I'm not here to cause trouble, sir. I'm just here with my friend. And I said, why'd you pull him over? He said, he's got a dead sticker. And I was like, yeah, I know that one. Always a story on Ice HCV. For some, you hear me talking about being here, being there. So back in the 90s, 1996, I started my own public telephone company business. And what happens is you develop relationships with people who own shopping centers, restaurants, and they grow their business model. They end up buying more shopping centers, more restaurants. So for me, back in the 90s, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000 years, I used to live on the road driving, servicing my public telephones. That was very, very important. Your paid telephones that were attached to the buildings and at shopping centers and malls and gas stations and restaurants and hospitals and airports and liquor stores. Everywhere there was a public telephone. So I was at an industry, and I grew to be pretty good size. So I lived on the road driving from point A to point B on an everyday basis, just about 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, going around and servicing my telephone. So broken handsets, coin jams, coin mechanism, trigger switches, collections, various issues, and it was never ending because we own 400 payphones. It's never ending of something going wrong on a daily basis. So I lived on the road servicing these payphones, and since I had a customer base that had businesses throughout the Virginia, Maryland, D.C. area, I basically was kind of forced in some way to service their locations, whether it was right around the corner from me or 100 miles away. So this is what I did. I literally lived behind the wheel. I would spend 2 hours driving to a location, maybe only to fix a few phones, but that's the difference of me staying in business with that customer or losing locations. And so what'll happen is if you don't take care of him in his one location, he kicks you out of his other locations. But down here, I had a really nice location. It was an IHOP up here on the right. I had a lot of the IHOPs back in the day. And one of the guys' name was Doc. Really cool guy. A lot of these IHOP operators that do it right, they do very, very well. If you know how to get a restaurant up and you really know how to get the right people in there and give them good money to work their ass off, you can do very well. So we're coming into Warrington now, the outskirts of Warrington. I've ridden my motorcycle down here a lot. And that's the thing, back in the day, I drove all over the place, seeing so many different areas. Where I live, there was just no real excitement on a Saturday of jumping on a motorcycle and driving to Warrington, Virginia. For what? I was just there. So up here on the right is this IHOP that I used to come to. And then, of course, we're down here now with the Jeep, Ram, Toyota dealerships. And I had gas stations, tons of gas stations with payphones and the whole 9 yards. So I've been doing this since 1993, though. Anyone wants to know, I did the telephone vending equipment business in 1993. So you're talking to me, how many years is that? 30, we're talking 32 years now, is that right? Yeah, 32 years of me being in the industry. And so here we go. I never ever bought a car down in these areas. They were just never the places to go. They didn't really wheel and deal because they're too rural. They were more about how much money they made off of a select few cars than up in the more metropolitan area where they're volume driven, and they'll make half the money off you because they do triple, quadruple the volume of sales down here. So usually rural dealerships aren't very aggressive. They can't be. They just don't have the foot traffic. So there's a Jeep Ram dealership up behind us. And it's the same story. 30 plus years ago, this road's no different. This road's no different from basically 35, 40, 50 years ago. It's just incredible. And the amount of traffic's on it is horrendous. You just got a ton of traffic behind me, in front of me. Pretty incredible to think, you go a week ago, I'd have told you I'd be in Florida today. I would have been down in Florida today. My flight would have come in at noon. And it's incredible how things can change so quickly. And it wasn't for me deciding not to go to Florida, there's no way the things that I've done this week I would have ever pulled off. There's no way. So, it's the old saying, you take a challenge and you create an opportunity. And that's the thing about life. Any very successful businessman will tell you, the people that have hardships, are they smart enough to get out of the hardships? Do they take the challenges and create opportunities? The sorrows, the list goes on and on and on. You're not getting a Corvette guy, probably thinks you want to race him. I had that generation C4, C5. That there's a C5, I believe. I had the C5, C6, and C7 generation Corvettes. And I was always more about buying a Corvette than a Camaro back in the day. So back in the day, I would have jumped over. I did. I bought, instead of buying a Z28 in 2015, I bought the brand new C7 generation Corvette. I mean, I came to closure. The C7 was a better package, better deal, and it was less money. And that's what happened. What's crazy is, think about it, how in 2015 I was so close to buying a red Camaro Z28 up there in Leesburg, to Jerry Chevrolet, and I just really felt that brand new generation Camaro or Corvette Stingray Z51 package was the better deal. It was less money, and it was more my style, being a Corvette guy. And I had been away from the Corvettes. I let go of my C6 Z06 Corvette, I think in 2011, I think. So I've been away from the car for like 4 years, maybe 5, I think 4 or 5 years. So that just made more sense. It was like a $60,000 car versus like 80. Right. Down here now, you got all these different businesses, and there's a trailer place up here on the right. I think it's, what do they call it? Trailers Plus, I think. Yeah, Trailers Plus. So many years ago, that's what I envisioned me doing. Was having a little trailer dealership on the side of a busy road. And that was back in 2005. 2004, 5. That is what I thought would be a good gig for me outside of my telephone business and vending equipment business. And I got so misled on what I thought would be actually the better way to go that destroyed me. Back in 2005, 6, I got hell-bent on getting out of my industry and getting a lawn and garden equipment dealership going. And I worked my ass off. I gave everything up, and I spent a ton of money. And at the end of the day, I went broke. All because I wanted to change direction. Like Sam Clemens. Do you know who Sam Clemens is? If you know who Sam Clemens is, Huckleberry Finn, you know he went through the same travesty in his life, a.k.a. Mark Twain, saying Sam Clemens. And if you look at what he did when he made all his money, he foolishly started taking it, and he tried to go a different direction in his life from being a writer, a novelist, an author, to taking his money and investing in that era, the 1800s of the Industrial Revolution. And so he got very caught up in basically thinking he could make his millions off of inventions. And if you really know the whole story of Mark Twain, it bankrupted him. I mean, it destroyed him. Huckleberry Finn. You ever read that book? I never read that book, but I know the moral of the story. I understand that. So, how about that? And, you know, I was just thinking to myself, driving up the road, I have somebody to talk to. You're the that I have to talk to. And so I was thinking, you know, I was just never a book reader growing up. I didn't have an attention span. I was too hyped up, too always revved up. You know, did I read the magazines, for car magazines, truck magazines, motorcycle magazine? Yes. But could I get involved reading a Mark Twain story? No. You know, a Hemingway book? No. I mean, you know, the list goes on and on and on. Unless my English class required me to, you know, read the book and they get the cliff notes to figure out how to answer the questions. So you thought I read the book. Yeah. So let's see. Come on, dump truck guy. Good, you win. Thank God. All right. So the Toyota guy knows what I'm doing. He knows what he's doing. Cabela's right up the road, man. I'm tempted to go up there and get something. It's going to turn a long day. And the dog's been cooped up a lot. So the Toyota guy, does he try to run me? Does he? I know this car's piped. Look at the traffic everywhere you go. Same thing you guys live. I guarantee you. My channel, especially for Brian K, who lives down there in Atlanta, Georgia area. That traffic down there sucks. So I guarantee anybody on my channel will be like, oh yeah. Roger now out there in Wisconsin now. I don't think he has these problems. His challenge is the squirrels and the deer and the foxes and the bears showing up in his front property, and that's his challenge. Here's a guy over here needing money, smoking his cigarettes, which is very expensive. He's getting up now, and he's going to start walking the street. And, you know, when I have money sitting around, I'll throw somebody something sometimes, not all the time. So does he walk down the middle, or does he walk on the left? So that's where I see some of these people. I think he's pretty worn out. It's been a hot day. So now, does he walk over to the shopping center afterwards and jump in his Mercedes? I don't know. Are you feeding his smoking and drinking addiction? I don't know. There's a fine line there. What are you accomplishing, right? There's a Tesla. See how Lon's in Trump's ass now? Because he's worried he's going to lose government contracts? Can't make this stuff up, everybody. We all have our challenges. Alon's challenge is he runs his mouth more than me, everybody. He does. So these people here think that they're next. They're not. The Tesla guy's next. So let's see. So this road, this right-hand turn here, eventually you got to merge left up the road to get up the road. So it'll be interesting to see if this guy tries to do his Supra maneuver. And what does he do? No, the white car got him. That's kind of surprising. Oh, told you. kind of took that early. I wonder why he took it so early. Surprised. But there you go. Here's all the traffic that goes by my house eventually. It's the same old story. You know, these are the roads, and everybody. The way I'm driving today is the roads mapped. If you're a traveler coming up Route 95, let's say you're going up to New Jersey or New York. It depends what part of Pennsylvania, but it's very possible that this Waze would route you the way I'm going. It most likely would, to keep you off all the 95 Beltway chaos. So I don't know if I said, but the CVO 2021, the guy that was so cool to call me and want the bike, I can't remember, I told everybody all day long, but he's not going to be able to buy a bike. And the reason is they want like 13% interest. So he can borrow the money, but they want 13%, so he won't do it. But he claims that his 2025 or 2024 CVO that he has, his claim is he refinanced that for 7%, but on the 21 they won't do it. They want 13%, like 12.99% financing. So he called me and apologized, and I was like, man, you're cool. He claims that my Honda Goldwing, my YouTube channel drew him to go buy a Honda Goldwing DCT from Timbrook Honda. That's what he claims. And so I was like, wow. He literally drove down from New York and picked up a brand new Honda Goldwing DCT and drove it home. And he really liked the Timbrook Honda. So that's what he said today. He's like, well, your channel drove me to buy a Honda Goldwing DCT. Like, wow. Where's my commission, man? And here we are. Trucks. So I got this truck in sport mode. You got to go to sport mode to get this thing some fun factor. If you don't go to sport mode, this truck's very lazy and very boring. But I want to see now what this thing is on the I wonder where the fuel economy is. This would be a hard this thing here is where you get really beat. This truck definitely bounces you around. So trip fuel economy 18, but let's reset it. Let's just see what this thing does now. A lot of video, everybody. So this will be another day of a challenge. By the time I get back in, it's going to be 6 o'clock. Get the dogs out. 6:10, 6:15. I want to jump in the pool. I'm going to jump in the pool and have a drink. So by the time I start uploading all these videos and downloading them, you know, it's going to turn into another late night. And his phone will probably die on me with all the conversation I'm having right now with you guys. They're talking. That'd be my guess. But this is interesting that the Tesla guy, whatever, is putting along. Putt. Oh, we got a red light. This is so backwards from the way it used to be years ago. What the hell is this thing? This area just doesn't stop, man. Looks like it's gonna be a shopping center to me. Come on, Tesla guy. Jesus, man. You gotta push that gas pedal. Oh, you don't push the gas pedal. You push the electric pedal. Got a little Porsche. Bahama. There's gotta be something wrong with this left-hand lane. I guess if people go left up here. The girl. It's a lady driver. Oh, we got a lazy guy, if you're way up to a blue car, he's dead. Yeah, right. I got myself, I'll take Brian down. Brian in the back of that trike and go down here, but that's the traffic. Hot as hell. It won't be any fun. I mean, there's a motorcycle. There's such a fine line of you having fun on a bike. And I'm going to tell you straight up, this would be no fun. Clutch in, clutch out. Traffic. Hot as hell. No way, man. No way. This area is so overwhelmed with traffic. It's just, yeah, what? Yeah, right, sure.